All right. I'm seeing my light here is not on. Does that mean you all can't hear me? I'm getting a thumbs up, which means you can hear me. All right, excellent. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, good. Well, it's so good to be here. I'm so appreciative of Drew to invite me to come and to present you all tonight. I have noticed this trend where I don't know what it says about my speaking ability, but when someone invites me to come, they often find a way not to be here. I don't know what precisely that means, but I do appreciate it. I appreciate the elders, of course, for allowing me to be here to present to you all tonight. How many of you have heard of Healing Hands International? If I could see just a show of hands. Okay, I think that is just about everybody in the room. How many of you all were able to participate in some way in the Walk for Water that we did last year? Okay, excellent. That is a lot of hands. Well, I am going to pretend, at least, that there is someone in the room who does not know who we are, and I don't want them to be left out. So I will share just some quick information to bring you up to speed. Healing Hands was founded in 1992, 1994, depends on who you ask. We began as a marketing project on the campus of Lipscomb University. This was right near the fall of the Soviet Union, or pardon me, right after the fall of the Soviet Union. And there was a great need for some relief efforts in Eastern Europe. I believe Ukraine specifically is where we got involved. And so this marketing class did this project, and they began to collect aid materials to send to the Ukraine, and it just grew, and it grew, and it grew, and finally Lipscomb said, okay, you just can't take over our whole campus. You got to get this stuff. You got to get out of here. And so Healing Hands purchased property, got a 501c3, and became a nonprofit organization within the Lord's Church to assist with aid. And so we cut our teeth on disaster relief. As time went on and as we got more experience, we went into new places, we met new people, we saw different needs, we began to evolve as an organization into where we are today, which is essentially a full-fledged development organization. Let me figure out how this clicker works. There it goes. So our mission is to aid, equip, and empower people all over the world, particularly those in vulnerable communities. We do that through several different programs. You can go to our website, hhi.org, and get lots of information about all of these. As I already mentioned, disaster relief. We also have our water program. We have a food sustainability program. We have a women empowerment program. We have the Magi Project, which is a little shoebox-sized boxes where we put in materials and send to kids around Christmas time who don't typically get to enjoy that sort of thing. And we also, we do logistics. And so we sort of serve as on a pro bono case for missionaries, churches, whoever who want to get a particular item from point A to point B. We just so happen to have people that have a lot of knowledge about that sort of thing, and so we assist the churches of Christ in making sure their people get the things that they need. Now, we don't have time to discuss all of those things tonight, and so we're going to be talking particularly... All right, okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm just going to tap it, just like that. We're going to be talking about clean water. If you can, I just want you to try and imagine with me for just a moment how often you've used water today. Just today. If I were to guess, you woke up this morning and you went into the bathroom and maybe you used the restroom, you flushed the toilet, you cut on a faucet and you brushed your teeth, you took a shower, you used some water to make coffee, maybe you've used water to cook with. You've probably drank some water. You've probably given some water to your kids. You've probably given some water to your dogs, your cats, anything else you have. Chances are you may have watered a garden. We're in the big fancy city of Birmingham or near it, so some of you probably water your lawns, I imagine. That's the thing. I grew up in Green Hill, which is North Alabama, very rural Alabama. We didn't water our lawns out there, but I live in Florence now, which I consider the big city, and people near me, they water their lawns. I sort of see it as my ascension into the middle class. I'm kind of proud of to live near people who water their lawns. So maybe you do that. Can you imagine Can you even fathom what it would be like to not have access to clean water? Right now, as we sit here, that is a story for approximately 700 million people on the planet. About 1 in 10. And so what they do every single morning when they wake up, they grab a bucket, they grab a jerry can, they grab whatever it is that they have that will hold water, and they start walking to the nearest source of water. On average, women and children on this planet every day walk 4 miles to get the water for their family. 4 miles. I can give you as many anecdotes about that as you want. One particularly a while back in Haiti, particularly rural part of Haiti. We were traveling to this village, and on our way we crossed this little stream, and there were these 2 young men who were sitting there bent down filling up 2 buckets each in this stream. And we asked them if they wanted to ride back to their home. They said that they did. They hopped in the back of our truck, and we drove them 5 miles one direction. 2 young men, about 10 years old, carrying 2 buckets like that. They were going to walk 5 miles in the morning. They were going to pick all that water up, and then they were going to walk it 5 miles back. And the next day when we weren't there, they're going to do it again. And the next day they're going to do it again. And that's the only water that their family is going to use that whole day. You know, I go around and I talk to churches all over the place, and I get all sorts of advice, as you would guess, and a lot of it pertains to what folks in the development world should do to improve their situation. And a lot of the advice is exactly what you would probably guess. They say, you know, these folks would just work a little harder. You know, if they could just get some job skills, they need to learn English, they need to get education, they need to do all of these things. And if they would just do that, then they wouldn't need any assistance. They could just pick themselves up out of their situation. And I hear you. And that's all coming from a good place. I understand that. But I ask, okay, well, you tell me, when a young man has to walk 10 miles a day to get water for his family, when's he supposed to do those things? When's he supposed to learn English? And it's mostly women. I mean, mostly women and young ladies are the ones who walk. I've seen, I think in all of my travels, I believe I've seen 1 adult male carrying water. You'll see young boys every now and again, but it's mostly girls. And there's a reason for that. I mean, the families typically see the young boys as their only hope to go out one day and to get a job, to help them get out of their situation. And so the young boys are going to get priority in terms of who gets to go to school. And so when you see 1 lady and 4 daughters walking to get water, she probably has several sons, and they're probably in school while the young ladies are walking to get water with their family. Now, unfortunately, the worst part of the water crisis isn't the opportunity cost. It isn't the time that it takes to go get the water. The biggest problem is the quality of water that they get. That right there is a typical water source in rural Kenya. I happened to be in Kenya, actually, just a few months ago now. We were drilling a well for a school near the Masai Mara region on the border of Tanzania. This is where that village was getting their water before we drilled that well. Now, I call that a mud hole. That's the same water source right there. You can sort of see right, I have a little red button. You're not going to be able to see it. But right there where her jerry can is, there's just a little underwater sort of spring type thing there. And that's where they go and they fill it up. And then when you walk off, it bubbles back up to the top. This village has 2,500 human beings and 10,000 livestock. And every living soul in that village gets their water from right there. That young lady was my age. She's 29 years old. She had 4 kids. And she said she makes that walk to that water over 4 times a day from her house. A few days prior to going to this place, we were spending some time with the Ayaro Church of Christ in the Ayaro region of Kenya. We're still in the process of drilling a well there. It has been all sorts of trouble. But they have a lot of faith. They're very excited about it. While we were there, of course, they all came together. They treated us well. We had lunch together. And they asked us, would you like to go see where we're currently getting our water from? And we said, of course. And so we loaded up. We walked probably mile and a half or so. While we were there were these two young girls who had come. They were bent over, and they were getting some water out of what I'd call a mud hole about the size of this room probably. They're in there. They're getting water for their family. And at the same time, there was another gentleman who was there who had brought his cows to drink from the same water source. And there were probably a dozen or so cows, maybe 15, 20 yards behind them. And if you've been around cows very much, you can probably guess what they were doing. While they were there drinking the water, they were also using the bathroom in that same water. That same water that those two young girls were going to take back home, that they were going to drink, that they were going to cook with, that they were going to wash their dishes with, they were going to brush their teeth with, because it's all that they have. Now, it is impossible for me, with a 3-year-old daughter, to see these young people drinking this water and not think about what I would think if I saw my young girl drinking this same water. Right now on this planet, every single day, we lose approximately 6,000 people due to the water that they drink. And of that 6,000 people, about 90% of them are ages 5 or younger. They die from cholera. They die from all sorts of bacteria. They're constantly sick. And it's just not good enough. It is just not good enough. Now, I guess as you all hear this, you've seen the pictures, you've heard the stories, I imagine you all know very well that this isn't good enough. In the world that we have, with the wealth that we've generated, with the technology that we have, no human being on this planet should have to live in those circumstances. And I guess you're asking yourself, okay, can we do something? And the answer is yes. Yes, we absolutely can do something. We can go to these places and we can drill a water well. And when we do, we get to see this. One of my favorite pictures in the whole world. I love it so much and I'll keep looking at it. I mean, this picture right here tells the entire story. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Here's a young lady who has probably spent every single day of her life that she remembers walking with her mother or her older sister to go get water that was dirty. And now, all of a sudden, these Christians show up, people she's never met in her life, and they say, hey, guess what? We love you and God loves you, and for no strings attached, we're coming to your place and we're drilling a fresh water well for you all to have just because you're human beings and you deserve it. Because you're made in the image of God and you deserve to get to have this. So, let's do something about it. We know we can do something, but what? What can we specifically do? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. We can walk for water. Now, most of you already know where we're going with this, but for those of you who are here and you're not aware, we have a program at Healing Hands International called Walk for Water. And what that is churches and organizations partner with us to say, hey, look, we're going to go out and we're going to walk so that these people don't have to. We're going to pick us a place, we're going to pick us a time, and we're all going to show up, and we're going to walk 4 miles just like they do, and we're going to fill up some buckets and some jerry cans with water, and we're going to carry it just like they do, and we're going to get somewhat of an idea of what it is these people have to do. We're going to have some clean water demonstrations there for situations where we're not able to drill for whatever reason. They are an amazing product. It's made from, it's just Sawyer water filtration systems. I take this bucket, I'll throw dirt in it, pine needles in it, whatever you want to throw in it, and then you dip the little tube out and it comes out looking like Dasani. It's amazing. We're going to show that off. We'll probably have some snacks there, some food there. We're probably going to have some jokes there. It's going to be a great time, and we're going to raise some money. And all of the money that we raise are going to go straight into drilling more water wells. And we're just going to keep doing that until we die or until we fix the water crisis, one of the two, hopefully. I went to lunch with a guy one time, not too long ago. My wife tells me I have to stop ad-libbing, so I apologize, but it's just, I went to lunch with this fella, and he sat me down, and he said, I appreciate what you do, but it really does have to be like existentially draining, right? Because, you talk about these types of numbers, 700 million people. You can spend your whole life doing this as a career, 40 hours a week or whatever, and you'll never put a dent in this whole thing. And that has to be tough. I said, okay, well, thanks. It's very encouraging. No, I didn't say that. No, I get it. I get where he's coming from, but he's just wrong. I told him that. I'm sorry, but you're just wrong for a couple of reasons. One, I don't have any responsibility in the world to try and fix the world. That's not my purpose at all. My purpose is to do the thing that I can do, and that's everyone else's purpose as well. Do the thing that you can do. Just do your job and do it as best that you can, and that's all you can do. And we might not ever put a dent in 700 million people. But I'll tell you one thing, we can put one well in one village, and one little girl cannot have to walk anymore. And if that's all we ever do, then why isn't that good enough? We'll do that once, and then I bet we'll be able to do it again, and we'll just keep doing it, and we'll just keep doing it for as long as we can. You all probably recognize some of these folks up here. These are probably some of the most handsome men and beautiful women you've ever seen in your life, if I were to guess. This is you all, particularly this young gentleman right here rocking these white legs. Since he's not here tonight, we'll make fun of him a little bit. That's Mr. Kaiser, for those of you who can't see. This was one of the best walks that we've ever had. You know what? Listen, I'm partial. I'm from Alabama. I love Alabama. This was the best walk that we've ever had. For a first-year walk, we had such an incredible experience last year. We wound up, the money is not the most important thing, but of course, money is what drills the wells. And we raised over $40,000 at our walk last year for a first-time walk. We've never seen anything like that. Really, we never have. It was incredible. We drilled 5 wells with those funds. One of the young ladies who was benefited from what we did last year is Miss Yeoman. She has 6 children. She runs a little bitty fruit stand. They sell limes and passion fruit and some other things. She told us, before this well was drilled, me and my kids would have to spend so much time walking to get water. And now that there is a well here, that's time that we're able to put back into our business and focus on things that is going to improve our life. My kids are sick less often. They miss less school because of this water well that's put here, thanks to you all. This young lady is Madam Jean. She has 8 children. Every day, there's 2 of her daughters there. Every day, they would have to walk up a mountain to get a mountain spring, to get water from a mountain spring. That's what they drink. Now, it's almost like it's hard for us to even wrap our head around. Can you imagine having to walk up a mountain every day to get your water? And now there's just a well right there at their village, and they don't have to walk anywhere, and it's only there because of what you people did last year. Last year when I was here, do you all remember this gentleman? Anybody? I told you this story last year. A few of you do. This gentleman, of course, was born without hands. I told you about his situation and how he was able to get involved with our ag program and do some ag workshop. Well, when I was in Kenya, we went to the Kisii region, which is where he's from. That's his wife, by the way. Met him, talked with him a while. He said since the last time we had been there, he had purchased 2 cows. He's purchased 2 cows now with the funds that he was able to make from the agriculture workshop that we did and from using the water well that we put there in the Kisii region. I believe I also told you when I was telling you his story there at the Kisii region that when we drilled that water well that 25 people were baptized and they started a small church. Well, you'll be happy to know that church is still there. And in fact, it now has a roof. It has walls. It may not be a great roof, but it is a roof, and it'll keep you dry. And that's a lot better than what they had. I told you 25 people were baptized. When I was there a few months ago, they said right now they're up to 150 people at that church. I met a lady there, oldest lady in the village.
Can't tell you how old she is because some people told me she was 75, other people told me she was 90, and she says she had no clue. Not that I'm one to judge this sort of thing, but she looked closer to 90 if I had to choose. She was an old-looking gal. And she said in her whole life, she had never seen clean water, never looked at it. And she told us with tears in her eyes how thankful she was every single day for the Lord's church and for Healing Hands for coming there and doing that for her family and for her people. I think I also told you about the gentleman who lost an eye. To refresh you with some of that, there was a gentleman, this lady's son, as a matter of fact. They had what they call water battles with the tribe next door to them, because when there's only so much water, you have to cross tribal lines. It can be a dangerous situation because they don't want you coming to take their water because that's what they give to their family. This gentleman got shot in the eye with a bow and arrow while he was going to get water for his family. Saw him. We talked to them a little bit. He told us that since that well has been drilled, which is in 2016, right? So there's 3 years now. They said they and the tribe beside them have made peace. And since they became Christians, they decided that they weren't going to treat that tribe the way they had been treated. And they invited them to come get water from the water well that we had drilled. And that those two tribes were now on very good terms, all thanks to that water well. I mean, it's just hard to overemphasize the importance of water. It's just the beginning of everything. And when you go to places that don't have it and you show up and again, you tell them, look, we're not here to sell you anything. I'm just here because you're created in the image of God and you deserve it. Well, then they want to hear more about what it is that you have. They want to learn more about why these people would travel halfway across the world and spend so much money and so much effort and so much time to do something for people they don't even know. And Christianity is just a very attractive thing. And the church is growing like wildfire in these places, and I hope you get a chance to go see it. So, we're going to do it again. I hope you all will join us if you can. November 17th is the date. We're going to be out at Homewood Central Park. It is a Sunday this year, in case you all are not aware of that yet. It's going to be on a Sunday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. is when we'll begin registration. I believe the walk's going to begin at 2 p.m. And it's just going to be a really good time. I really hope you all are able to come out. I hope you are able to participate in some way. Some of you physically can come and can walk 4 miles and can carry some water and can have some sense of solidarity with these people. Some of you can't do that. Some of you have the means to support this financially, to give some money so that we're able to drill some more of these wells. Every one of you can pray about this work, pray for these people, pray that we're going to get clean water to everyone as quickly as possible. You all can tell a friend. You can share it on your things, your Facebooks and Twitters and Instagrams and those types of things. Get the word out and let people know about what it is we're doing and what it is that the church stands for, and invite folks to come and do this kind of thing. I hope that you will. I hope that you will participate in some way. So as we conclude here, I want to shift gears just a little bit. I love this work. I do. I love Healing Hands. I love the church. I love getting to go and talk to people about this work because I think it is a good work. You all do not have any sort of Christian obligation to participate in Walk for Water, right? There are lots of good works. So I hope it doesn't come across as though I'm trying to say, everyone here has to come do this. You don't. But you have to do something. You have to do something. Whether you get involved with this work, whether you can get involved with another sister organization, there are lots of good organizations in the church doing great work. Whether you get involved locally, whether you get involved right here at this congregation to do something, you have to do something. There's just too much work that needs to get done. We put a lot of emphasis in the church, rightfully so, on orthodoxy, okay? We do and we should. But Christianity is about more than just thinking the right way and believing the right things. I mean, this is explicated for us perfectly in James chapter 2, around verse 14. When James asked the people, he says, okay, you have faith, but you don't have works? You don't put it to action? Well, what good does that do? You think a person is saved just by their faith without having to actually do anything? Honestly, I mean, what good does it do for you to say to a person, for you to look at these folks in need, folks who don't have any clothes or any warm clothes, folks who don't have enough food? What good does it do for you to say to that person, good luck, go on your way, be well fed, be warm? What good does that do if you don't take care of the things that they actually need in their physical body? What good does it do? I mean, this is made so explicit in Jesus' own words in Matthew chapter 25, verse 31. It's a story you all know very well. He's separating the sheep and the goats, right? He says to the sheep on the right hand, come into the place that was prepared for you because you saw people in need and you did something. People were hungry and you gave them food. They were thirsty and you gave them water. They were sick and you took care of them. They were in prison and you visited them. I do worry about us in the American church. I really do. I worry about us a lot. I worry that there are going to be some of us who go one day and we stand before our Maker and we say, God, look, I did all the things, right? I was baptized. I showed up to church every single Sunday. I didn't cuss. I didn't get drunk. I didn't go around cheating on my wife. I lived a good life. And God's going to say, that's good that you did that. But I want to ask you a question. How did you treat people? What did you do for people? Because I put you in a situation. You were born in a time and a place where you had more luxury and more material wealth than any humans who were ever born on this planet ever. And you knew, you could look out with your own eyes and you could see people all over the world who had nothing. And you knew you could help them. And I want to know, what did you do for them? Because what you did for those people, that's what you did for me. And what you did not do for those people is what you did not do for me. Now, I think there are some people in the church who've been coming to this place for years, and if they were to sit there and to honestly think, honestly evaluate themselves, wouldn't know the last time they did anything mentioned in Matthew 25. Some of you are here tonight, and you're not a member of the church. And I don't know your story. I can guess somewhat of your story just because I'm typical American. I don't know what your relationship with the church is. But I'm asking you to join it. I'm asking you to come be a part of this, to be a part of this community. For one, because I'm selfish and we need you. I mean, we just flat out need you. I mean, there is a lot of work to get done, and we need as many people as we can get. Two, it's going to make your life better in every single way. Existentially, it's going to make you better. It's going to help abet that eternity-sized hole in your heart that the book of Ecclesiastes talks about. It's going to provide you with a church community here with people who love you and care for you and want the best for you and want to go out and improve the world with you. I hope you'll consider it. I do. I hope you will decide to get baptized. I hope you will decide to die to your old self. I hope you will self-analyze yourself and say, you know what, I need to be a better person. There's so many things I need to die to, and I'm going to choose to do that tonight. I'm going to die to those things, and I'm going to be washed, and I'm going to be buried, and I'm going to come alive a brand new person who wants to go out and better myself and better this world. I hope you'll make that decision. If there's anything whatsoever that you need tonight, and if there's anything we can do to help you, I hope that you'll come forward right now while we stand and while we sing.